Million Dollar Quartet is an electrifying musical that's part concert, part behind-the-scenes story about the night that changed rock and roll forever, so they say. The musical, which is presented by Theater Under the Stars, sees music legends Elvis Presley, Johnny Cash, Jerry Lee Lewis, and Carl Perkins getting together at the famous Sun Records for a once-in-a-lifetime recording featuring iconic hits of the era, including Hound Dog, Great Balls of Fire, and Folsom Prison Blues, and so much more. The musical is currently running at the Hobby Center through Sunday. Have I made it sound exciting enough yet?
Very.
There you go. Okay, tell us more about Million Dollar Quartet. Please welcome Nat Zegree, who is playing Jerry Lee Lewis, in addition to being the music director for this production. Nate, welcome.
Yes, indeed. I'm going to actually give you, it's Nat.
It's
What
Nat.
did I say,
That's
Nate?
right. Nate, yes.
Oh, I meant Nat. I was
a
so worried about Zegree.
That's a lifelong commitment that I've had is,
really?
is getting called Nate, so I'm used to that one.
Okay.
Don't you worry.
Nat's here.
Nat Zegree. Nat
guys.
Zegree. We are so happy to have Nat Zegree.
Thank you so much.
Yes, you're looking good. Tell us, how many times have you done this show?
Oh boy, it's been over the last 11 years or so. I think I'm nearing 650 performances of
is
Jerry
that
Lee
all?
Lewis,
Oh,
something
my
like that.
Lord.
Yeah, just that amount.
So what is it about you that draws that they cast you in this character?
Well, I tell you what, it's a very hard show to cast because everybody on stage has to be great actors, great singers, great movers, right? But you also have to be an incredible musician. You have to be able to play the instrument that your character, of course, is playing, including the drum and the bass, right, who is on stage the whole time.
Quick reminder, who do you play, Jerry Lee Lewis?
I played Jerry Lee Lewis, yeah. So I'm on the keys the whole time, right? So I'll never forget, our director, Hunter Foster, was the original Sam Phillips on Broadway. So he's been doing this since it opened. He originated the show. And then once it closed on Broadway and we started doing it regionally, they asked him to direct the first regional production because they were like, oh, how cool would that be? He played Sam for all these years and now he can come direct it and kind of be the mentor to all of us. And I was just a spry new New Yorker, 22 years old, who came in for an audition, and he saw something in me and gave me a chance to be a part of it. And I've been doing it with him almost exclusively for the 11 years now. So he just kind of came in, and I'd be lying if I said that I didn't break the piano bench at the audition studio from kicking it over and playing a bunch of songs.
So that brings up for me the fact that whenever you play a true-to-life character, and especially someone who's in the public eye that people know, so they want you to emulate him.
Right.
And they probably want you to sound like him.
Yeah.
I'm curious, when playing the instruments, do you guys have to learn how to play like them too? So the sound that you're going to hit on the piano has got to sound not like you, but like Jerry Lee Lewis.
Bang on. I mean, yeah, absolutely. That's part of it. And not only the style of playing, but how you look while you're playing it, right? So if you're Johnny Cash, you don't just get to strum the guitar. You got to do all those Johnny Cash poses and learn to play it like that in the way that he did. So it's
While we're on Johnny Cash, tell our audience what entertainers are a part of this.
the best of the best, man. You got Elvis Presley, the king himself, Johnny Cash, Carl Perkins, and Jerry Lee Lewis, right?
Perfect.
So these four.
And is there a part where you say, I can't wait to get to this, like Great Balls of Fire or whatever it is?
Yeah, there's a couple different parts. I mean, the Great Balls of Fire certainly makes an appearance. I'm not going to tell you where. You're going to have to find out for yourself because it's pretty good for the plot. But there's one tune that we do that's called Brown Eyed Handsome Man, and it's actually a Chuck Berry hit, right? One of the great kings of rock and roll himself, Chuck Berry on the guitar. It's the same guy who gave us Johnny Be Good, right? And a little bit into the show, once all of the four rock stars have entered Sun Studios, there comes a moment where we all join together for the first time on a song, and that song is Brown Eyed Handsome Man. And when you see that energy hit from all four, you've met Jerry Lee, you've met Carl Perkins, you've met Johnny, and then in comes Elvis.
Woo!
Amazing.
And we all play this song together for the first time. Man, it's fire. I mean, it blows up the whole entire theater. It's incredible.
Now, I've got to ask you, how do you balance bringing Nat's own creativity to this role while also making sure that you are playing Jerry Lewis?
Well, that's a great question. It really is because, a lot of people expect to come in seeing impersonations, right?
Right.
For me, it's more important to kind of emulate the spirit of the character rather than try to do a direct impersonation, especially for guys like Jerry Lee and Carl Perkins, who are maybe a little lesser known than guys like Elvis Presley and Johnny Cash, right?
I've heard of them.
Like, right, exactly. So people come in with a pretty strong idea of Elvis Presley, right? And our Elvis does a great job of grounding Elvis, so that it's not just the home, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
Well, let
it's
me ask
personal.
that, because you, 11 years, you've
Yeah.
been doing Jerry Lee Lewis, but you have different Elvises and different Johnny Cashes along the way.
That's right.
What kind of process does it take to fit them into the family?
Yeah, well, at this point, you know, between Hunter and I, who I usually music direct the productions, and he's the greatest director of this show of all time, we have people that we can kind of go, oh, maybe we should use him, or maybe we should use him, and let's bring these guys together. So every now and then, and pretty much for a long time, we used the same amount of guys, but over the years, we bring new people in, and it just makes the show more exciting, because then every time you do it, it's a slightly different sound, a slightly different meld of musical minds, and I love that, because it's all live music, right? So no show is exactly the same.
And this question might not land because of the fact that you kind of revisit the same actor stuff. But I think of Elvis, and I think there were definitely different periods of Elvis in which he
Absolutely.
presented differently. And I'm thinking an audience comes in and they may not click immediately that this is how Elvis was then.
Exactly.
Do you ever find yourself having to say to the actor, you're a little too Vegas, Elvis.
You're giving us 70s Elvis
Yeah,
right
you got to
now."
take us back to late 50s Elvis.
Yeah, exactly. I'd take off the jumpsuit and
Right,
put the
yeah.
scarf back on.
Right.
No, that's a good question too. You know, it is great because we kind of get to bring a little bit of all of those elements into moments of the show. But for the most part, this is 1956. This is at the beginning of all of their careers.
Hound Dog? You got to give us an idea of what we're going to hear when we come.
I think you'd be hard pressed to come see a show with Elvis Presley if we didn't do Hound Dog for you once. So I won't tell you how it happens, but I'll put it this way. The last 20 minutes of this show is theater unlike anything the Houston audiences have ever seen.
Is
I
it
say
a
that very
90 all the way,
confidently.
or do you have an intermission?
We do have an intermission, of course.
Okay, so you mentioned how you all are multifaceted, artists. You play instruments. You all are essentially dancers.
Yes.
You'll act, you sing. So what would you consider yourself? More of a musician, more of a singer, more of an actor?
Yeah, that's a great question. In the theater world, they kind of ask you, are you a singer, dancer,
Right.
actor, singer, dancer? What's the order, right?
Yeah.
Well, for us, we get to put musician onto that list, right? Yeah. I've been playing piano since I was brought home from the hospital. That's just a fact.
Okay.
It really was. I started taking, but I'm classically trained as well, so I started taking lessons when I was 3 years old. I didn't even start playing rock and roll until I was about 18 or so, right?
Wow. Right.
But it's kind of one of those things where everyone has a slightly different answer. I'd say that I am a musician and a singer before I am a actor and a dancer. But I love acting and I love moving as well. And if you come see it, you will see many a hip sway, many a thrusting of that area. It is.
So you're a multi-hyphenate.
Multi-hyphenate, exactly.
That's what you should call yourself. Okay, outside of doing this role, this show, are there other shows that excite you in the same manner?
Yeah, in terms of the musical theater canon, there's nothing like $1 Million Quartet. There really isn't. It is a product of its own. I'm lucky enough to I write and create my own shows, and then I perform those all over the country and the world, and do that kind of on my own time, whether it be just me and a piano or me and a symphony orchestra, right? But in terms of the musical theater canon, I honestly, for as long as I can remember, could not imagine more of a show that I wanted to be a part of than $1 Million Quartet. I remember watching it on the Tonys when I was still in high school, saying to myself, I can do that. I could definitely do that. And then, about 5 years later, that dream came true and Hunter gave me the shot. But really, there's nothing. I mean, if you're going to the theater to see Oklahoma or A Chorus Line or West Side Story, amazing. Fantastic shows. It's not even close to an experience like $1 Million Quartet. I mean, it's truly, because this is it's like a concert experience mixed with the plot that you would come for a drama as well.
What's your age group? Not yours. I know yours. I mean, what the audience? Because these are, like you said, 1956.
Absolutely. I mean, what's so great about the show is that, yes, the majority of people in the audience are probably going to be 60 and above, right? Because they're coming back to relive these memories.
Sure.
And that's the most special part of the show, is to look out and see these people become teenagers again. I mean, it's absolutely incredible. We've seen walkers in the air. We've seen carousels flying all over the place. It's amazing. But more so than that, we actually get a really, really healthy mix of different generations and demographics, because we get to look out, and just as we see old people having a really, really good time reliving these memories of seeing these guys live, we're also watching the younger generations discover this music and discover these people for the first time.
We don't call them old, matures.
That's very nice. That's
Mature
very good.
people.
Yes, the mature people. Something
We
I
know
don't
that at PBS.
anything about.
Yeah.
I'm one of them. I'm good with old. You're
But
fine.
when you look out and you see a teenager, eyes light up when they see Elvis Presley dancing for the first time, you're realizing that they're kind of experiencing the same thing that maybe their grandma and grandpa experienced a couple decades ago. So it's
That's
really
awesome.
special. It's a completely multi-generational, and families and people of all ages are welcome and appropriate.
That's
at
why
the
it's
show.
here 70 years later.
That's right.
Thanks, Nat.
Of course,
Nat
guys.
Zegree plays Jerry Lee Lewis in the Tuts production of $1 Million Quartet. He's also the production's music director. Nat, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.